From Lou Leslie's Blackbirds. I wrote that in 1930. Now, what's next?
Let's sit down and talk, Mr. Blake.
Okay.
Let's sit down. Which chair's yours? Watch the chords over here.
Okay.
How you feeling?
Well, I feel pretty good, kid. You know, I'm way up there in age, you know that.
93 in February?
I'll be 92 years old.
92.
The 7th of February, 92. Well, you can't feel so good that
Yeah, you can't feel too bad that you made it either.
No, well, I feel all right. Been working hard. You know, I've been to Paris since well, I've been to Paris 4 or 5 times, but I mean this time. And I worked over there, a fellow named Alberti. I mean, I worked. They paid me good, but I earned it.
Concerts?
Huh?
Concerts? Concerts, nightclubs.
Oh no, this was in a studio.
Yeah?
Yeah, they did my life over there. And I worked 4 days. Then they had a strike over there. I never heard of a strike for post office in my life. I did. Maybe there'd been some before, but I never heard of it. And I couldn't write anybody. A lot of people want to get mail from me from Paris, you know, or any other place. I've been to Germany, I've been to Sweden, I've been to Norway, all those places. But I always do. But everybody's crazy about Paris, you see, except me. I like it all right.
Yeah. Where are you crazy about?
Right here.
Where's this?
This is my home.
Yeah?
I love this country.
Yeah?
didn't treat us so nice at the beginning, but they're all right now.
Yeah. How long you been in Brooklyn?
Oh, let's see. I've been married to this wife. It'll be 30 years. Day after Thursday, it'll be 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been married to her.
And you've been in Brooklyn ever since?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I always tell everybody, you know, all I had to do is come in and pull off my hat, because I got the coop with the chicken. You know that gag? Well, that's my own personal gag. I got the coop with the chicken. She owned the house and everything, and I came here, and I've been very happily married.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's, you know, my first wife, she was very clever. Well, you know, I marry women that's got a brain. And my wife takes care of all my work here. To tell you the truth, I tell people this, but they don't believe it, half of them. I don't know what I'm getting for a concert until I sign the contract. And I very seldom turn over the check. I very seldom, sometimes, unless she'll say, "Eubie, that's a fat one."
That you'll turn over.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the fat one. She won't let me work too much, though.
How'd you meet Marion?
Marion?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Los Angeles. You know, did you know I was a conductor too? No, people don't know. I'm a conductor too.
Train conductor?
Huh?
Train conductor?
No. Orchestra.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a symphony.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could do it, but I have never done it. Because dynamics are dynamics. Don't care whether it's ragtime or what it is. See? And I met her in Los Angeles. See, Andy Resolve's mother.
Okay, who's Andy Resolve?
That's the fellow that wrote the lyric to that Memories of You.
Okay.
He wrote Blackbirds. We wrote, I don't know how many floor shows. You know what a floor show is? Like giving a cabaret, not in a
nightclub.
theater.
A nightclub.
A nightclub. See, we call them floor shows. And she was out there visiting Andy's mother. See? And I stopped past to see Andy's mother. And I looked at this girl, I said, boy, this is the girl for me, you see. But she retarded me. I said it was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and she says somewhere else. But anyhow, I went coming east, and I met her, and I asked her, could I write her, and I wrote her. So then it happened, you know. We got married. I've been married to her. And, I'll tell you the truth, though. If it wasn't for Marion, Carl, and Deli, Marion, Carl, and Deli, they're my backbone. And I can never say enough of those three people, but most of them my own wife. And you, I love you, you know, this is not a stage gag I'm doing.
It's a good thing it's not color, because they'll see me blushing.
I think the world of you.
Well.
I have no children. I never did have any. See? So I meet somebody like you that's been so nice to me. Where was the place? See, I've been so many. What was
the University of Massachusetts.
Huh?
The University of Massachusetts.
University of Massachusetts. Did I get a doctorate there?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
You see them all over the wall there. Well, you treated me so nice, Joey, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for you.
Well, let's talk a little history.
All right.
When did you write your first thing? When did you start playing?
Oh, for my living?
Well, just started. Let's
started
bring it up from a kid.
to read music when I was 6 years old. A lady named Margaret Marshall lived next door to me. And I gotta get up and show you this.
Okay.
I played it. She'd give me one of my. Now this is one of my lessons. Listen. I didn't like it, so I played like it. So, my mother, you know, years ago, ragtime wasn't considered art, you know.
Mhm.
You don't know, but I'm saying. And my mother was over religious. Oh, everything good, God did it. And everything bad,
Eubie did it.
you did it. See? So she was, my mother was a domestic, see? My mother and father were slaves, you know that. You know about that. And, but both could read and write. My mother writes you a letter on a regulation paper. All she said, "Dear Eubie, be a good boy. The letters are so big, God will take care of you," like that. That page is gone. See? She wrote so big, she didn't know how. But my father had the most beautiful. He could have written calling cards.
Mm-hmm.
See? And I'll get to my other part of the story. And so now the way he learned to read, the little girl, I call her little Eva. You don't know why I call her. Eva was in Uncle Tom's Cabin, see?
Okay.
But this wasn't no Uncle Tom's Cabin. So anyhow, it was on the farm where my father was a slave. And this little white girl used to take my father down the woods and teach him how to read and write. And she was about, 10 or 12 years old. She knew how to read. And she taught my father. Now my father, when he wrote, he didn't draw, He said, "What's your name?" "John, summon up like that." He was crazy about summoners. That was his name, John. And boy, he'd and right on a straight line like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he would write me a letter. Now back to me. Margaret Marshall taught me how to read music. That's the lady that lived next door to me. See? And then I heard Jesse Pickett and Jack the Bear and Big Jimmy Green and them playing ragtime, and then the bands all played ragtime, see? They would, some big time Negro would die, and they have a band to take him to the graveyard,
Mm-hmm.
see? And going out the graveyard, they'd play, yum, dum, da-dum, da-da-dum, dum, dum, Chopin's funeral march. Now that's going out.
Coming back?
Yum! Same tune. Now in New Orleans, they claim that they originated ragtime. I'm 91 years old, and I heard ragtime all my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they would do. Whatever they would play going to the graveyard, they'd play the same tunes coming back in ragtime. See? Like when we work at the Astor Hotel, they would play, I just love this one, Walt Millicent. Ya da 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 da. No, that ain't right the way it goes. But I can't think of it.
Okay.
And they would be, this was a white orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
See? They play at that end of the main ballroom at the
Waldorf?
Waldorf, not the Waldorf now.
Mm-hmm.
See? This was on Broadway. And Jim Europe's band, we would play there. Millicent, da 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 dum dum, da da dum da dum, ya da 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 dum. Beautiful walk. And we'd play young. We'd play it that way. See? whatever they finished with, we played the same thing in ragtime. Their whole program. See, they would play half an hour, we'd play half. See, they had 22 men, and that man, Sissle knows his name, I can't remember his name. He got to be a millionaire, not playing music. No, I ain't know nobody make $1 million off music, see.
Okay, so what'd your mother think? You never finished that. What'd your mother think of ragtime?
Oh my God, she hated it. Oh, I was telling you, yeah. So my mother would go out to work, and she never get back until about 6 o'clock. See, I didn't have the color people didn't. Not all. Most of the color people didn't have no pianos. See, they had organ, you know, organ,
Pedal organ.
pedal with the feet. And I'm in there playing. And my mother's behind me. You ever been someplace and could feel a person behind you? You know? Well, that's the way. And I turned around and looked. Oh, I said, oh, I'm going to get killed now. She says, take that ragtime out of my house and don't you never let me hear you playing ragtime. You want to play ragtime, go on in the street and play it. I couldn't play it in the house.
So where'd you play it?
I'd go to people's homes like that. And when they give a party, I'd play ragtime, play the piano. They didn't have no pianos. We didn't have.
Do you remember any stories that your mother or father would tell about being slaves or before you? About your grandparents or anything?
My father would tell me about slavery, and my mother would. See, we only had 4 rooms, 2 downstairs and 2 upstairs. See, now this house put me to mind of it. See how low the ceiling is? Well, it was like this, but it was bigger than this. See, and my father would comment in the wintertime. He'd get walnuts, black walnuts. Now, from ironing, you've never seen these kind of iron. You put them on top of the stove to heat them, so it could.
Yeah, just a piece of metal.
Yeah, see, and it would fall off and break the handle. See, so my father then that would fit in this lap like that, and he'd crack the walnuts and give me. I'm about 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old. I hadn't been to school yet. And of course, you don't go to school until you're 6 years old. I don't know about now, but then. And he'd tell me about slavery. But there's another gag I'm going to show you. This is not a stage story, what I'm telling you. It's true. My mother said, John, don't tell that boy about slavery. I don't want him to know about slavery. He says, yes, I want him to know. I want him to know about slavery. But he'd tell me, but don't you dislike the people about that, because those people were just the same as we were. They didn't know. They thought they were right. See? And don't you ever grow up to dislike anybody that hasn't done anything personal to you. And here's my hand to God. That I have no prejudice. I don't care what they do in the street. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So long as they don't do it to me, see?
Okay. I read a story about you once, about you and your first girlfriend walking down the street or something.
About the rat?
Yeah. Okay, tell me this one.
I can't think of that girl's name. Florence, her name was Florence. I can't think of it.
Okay, how old were you?
Oh, I was a young man then. Oh, I was playing in the Goldfield Hotel. And I'm going down the street with this girl. And I see a rat about a half a block eating out the garbage. So I said, well, when we get near, he'll run away, see? I don't know whether I'm marked with rats and things like, I can't. Used to be a girl on the movies named Pearl White, Pearls of Pearl White. That's the movies, not talking, just movies. And they used to put her in a dungeon. They always had rats, and I couldn't look at them. So as close now this girl had on a fur overcoat. And when I got about far from here to out there in the kitchen there, I stomped my feet, and this rat looked up at much as me. He said, "What are you stomping?" Go ahead, I ain't bothered you. Don't bother me. So when I got close to him, the girl, she wasn't afraid of the rat. See, I'm afraid of him. See, I've always been that way. And when that rat said stuff like that, and he leaped, and I pushed the girl. That's a small-time trick I ever done in my life. I pushed the girl in front of me, and the rat went down in her bosom. It's not in the coat. Lord, I was raised up with this girl. I was crazy about her. She told everybody in Baltimore. Told everybody in Baltimore. Girl said, "Oh, don't go nowhere here. Anything happen, he'll push you right in front." That's what I did. That was a small-time trick that I did. But back to the late slavery. Honest, I have no prejudice whatsoever. Honest to God. And I'm not doing a stage act now. I'm telling you the truth. Because my father told me. He says, he'd make a comparison. He said, "I can go to Mr. Chashi. Now $15 was a lot of money for him. I can get $15 from Mr. Chashi anytime I want it. See, and well, I pay him back through work. My father was a stevedore. But he trained me. Hi, Carl. He trained me that don't have no... Why should I dislike you for what he did? He did something to me, but you didn't.
He does that to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, when was the first time you played for money?
1902.
Where was it? When did you start playing in the bordellos?
Yeah. 1902. At first, see, I get this backwards sometimes, but this is the straight way. I was playing down on Rogers Avenue in a bar.
Baltimore?
Yeah, oh yeah, all this is Baltimore. I didn't leave Baltimore for good until 1915. That's when I started to write music. So anyhow, the guy, I'm playing in this place, not working there. All of us used to, all the pianists, these were houses of ill repute on both sides of the street. So when we didn't have company, we'd go down there and make extra money. Now, you know what I mean? Company, the boys come in to see the girls. Well, when there wasn't nobody in the house, we'd go down, we used to have to take off our hat in a bar. Can you imagine that? They'd tell you, air your hat, and you know that word they used to call us. So a guy was in there, and I played the piano, see? And he says, "Hey, boy," that's the way they talk to you in Maryland in those days, not now. "Hey, come here, boy." Yes, you got to say yes and no, sir. He says, "You'd like to go to the medicine show?" Well, I'd never been out of Baltimore. I said, "Yes, see?" He says, "I'll give you $3 a week, room and board. But it's the idea of getting out of the town." So I went with him. His name was Dr. Frazier. And we went to Fairfield, Pennsylvania. And he gave us $3 a week, room and board. But you ever see a medicine show?
Just on TV and stuff.
Huh?
Just on TV.
Yeah, the big lights and all, and they get a big dish pan and with a bass drum mallet, and bing, 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 bing. They played rural districts, see? And they take this mallet and hit the mallet, and they call them rubes. The rubes all come around, and they're selling this medicine. But this man was a real doctor. Most of them.
You remember the medicine?
He was a veterinarian, surgeon veterinarian, and with one man, partner with him, was a Negro, but he was deaf and dumb. See, and he played, and we played for him. And the Sunday, we didn't only get a sandwich because this guy went to church and left us there and gave us breakfast, but didn't give us no dinner. Only sandwiches. See, and my partner, a guy named Preston Jackson, he was a smart aleck. He says, "Hey, you gonna eat that sandwich?" I said, "Yes, I'm gonna." "You're crazy. You're crazy. We're not gonna eat it." There's 5 of us. Listen to the names now. I ain't making these names up now. Slewfoot Nelson. Yalla, not yellow. Yalla. Yalla Nelson. Noddy Bateman. Preston Jackson and myself. And I was the boss of the thing. All of us got $3. He didn't pay me no more than did anybody else. So we quit the man. That's the first job I had. That's 1902.
Do you remember his medicine at all, or any of that?
Yeah, he had horses had something they call. I have to show you this. It's visual. The horse, then his hip. The horse would do it like that. Heist, what they call a heist. Well, this man had medicine. First, he put Vaseline on the horse's hip. And then put this medicine on with steam, just like the smoke comes. The medicine was that strong. Now, whether it worked after
that. You never stayed in town long enough to find out.
No, the horse they'd walk around, the horse would run, and the horse would walk all right. That's the trouble.
When did you start writing shows?
Oh, 1920. Oh, I wrote a show before. I never tell about it. Elk show. I wrote a show, must have been around, but somebody wrote the music down for me. I couldn't write it. Must have been it was right after Gans died. See. Joe Gans was the lightweight champion of the world. I worked for him, see. He died in 10, and I wrote this colored elk show and played the piano, because I know the music, because I wrote the music, composed the music. I couldn't write music then. I couldn't write. I couldn't write music until 1915. What else you want to ask me?
Well, how about, when did you start writing like the Broadway shows?
Oh, 1921.
1921. Which one was the first?
Shuffle Along.
Shuffle Along.
Chocolate Dandies. Bandana Days. Bandana Days, 1924. Elsie. We were the 3rd Negroes to write a Broadway show for a pure white show. Sissle and Blake were.
Okay. You mentioned Noble Sissle.
Blackbirds in 1930.
Okay. How'd you meet Noble Sissle?
I met him in Baltimore. He came down from Indianapolis. A fellow named Frank Brown was a very handsome boy. And the white men didn't like him. Because when he'd walk on the floor, and he could sing. He looked like an Indian, but he was a Negro. And he'd walk out on the floor, and the women would go, I said, that guy ain't going to be here long. So they let him work 2 years, and they cut him out. So Sissle came in his place. The Sissle was a handsome boy, too. But Sissle was a little guy, see? But this guy was big like that boy there, see? And he was beautiful hair, see? And when he'd walk out to sing, and he always sang love songs. And the white men didn't like it. And they got rid of him. So Sissle came in his place. That 15th day of May, 1915. And we wrote our first song. It's all, you want to hear the chorus?
Sure.
I can only sing the chorus. I can't sing nothing. Oh.
That's wise.
Now this is the first song we wrote. But it was a white boy wrote with us named Eddie Nelson.
What happened to him?
He's down in the Lamb's Club now. He's retired. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Oh, you called me pretty names, and I told to it, and it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Once I believed in you, and I was glad. Now I'm deceived in you, and now I'm sad. My poor heart is aching. It's almost breaking, and it's all your fault. Bum, 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 bum. That's the first song Sissle and Blake ever wrote. Now the reason Eddie Nelson is there with us on account of we couldn't. You had to have
A white name with you?
yeah. When you weren't known, you know. Of course, a lot of fellas wrote that didn't have no, but they were known. We were upstarts, see. So Sophie Tucker was playing the Maryland Theater. That's actually on Franklin Street. And I sketched down as much as I could know how to sketch, because I could read music, but I couldn't write. I sketched down the lead sheet, see? And Sissle always had more nerve than I, see? So he says, Miss Tucker's playing the Maryland Theater. Let's go up, try to get Miss Tucker to use this number. Oh, I thought, man, she wouldn't even speak to us. So Sissle said, she can't kill us. All we got to do up there and ask for it. Oh, Sophie Tucker. I love her in a, two people I love in that grave, Paul Whiteman and Sophie Tucker. I'll tell you.